Aloha, everyone, and welcome to another Tinkers Academy video. I'm your host, Kay Elmer, and I've got on the phone Philip von Holzendorf with Leila Quantum Tech to discuss with you guys the new frequencies that have just been added to Quantum Upgrade. So, welcome, Philip.
Hey, Kay, I'm glad I'm on.
Yeah,
Looking forward to this.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just looking forward to this.
Yeah, yeah, because because today is the launch of the new frequencies just recently added to Quantum Upgrade. So we're going to go ahead and Philip's going to just basically explain what's been added and answer a few questions that I pulled out of the chat group, so that everybody is aware of the new frequencies for Quantum Upgrade, and it all is included with what you're already doing. So let me go ahead and read the disclosure in case we say something that we need to disclose. So our standard disclaimer is neither Quantum Upgrade nor Tinkers Academy recommend or endorse any specific tests, physicians, procedures, opinions, or other information that may be mentioned in this video. Reliance on any information appearing and discussed in this video is solely at everyone's own risks. Statements made have not been evaluated by the EFSA or FDA. Any Quantum Upgrade products and products that Quantum Upgrade may represent are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So there you go. Always got to say that, right, Philip? Um, yeah, you know how it is. Okay, so the very first thing is there's three new frequencies added to the existing bundles. So there's a new frequency in abundance and a new frequency in the heal bundle. So Philip, can you kind of just share with everybody like what are the two new frequencies down here? One's called Unity, one's called Resurrection, and how like does it affect the price and so forth?
hmm So last question answered first. So it does not affect the price here. So the whoever has the abundance bundle or the heal bundle does not need to pay anything more. We're just adding this for free. And that's also the case for all of the frequencies that we're adding and the all-in-one frequency bundle, that we had started in the beginning. I think, I don't know, we may have had like 10, 14, 15 frequencies there at first, and we had increased it to 20. And now I don't even know, you may have counted it, but we should be well over 26 frequencies by now. And that's all included in the existing price in the all-in-one frequency bundle. That's our goal, to just continue to add more value for that and not increase that price. All right. That being said, so the Unity frequency and the Resurrection frequency, those are two frequencies that we've had for a while already on the Leela Quantum Tech side as frequency cards. And several people had asked, when we would add those, and now we have added them. Unity, one good reason to add that is because everything in the world right now, or not maybe everything, but a lot of that tries to move everyone into separation and into different sides and perspectives that then fight against each other, basically. And that's something that basically helps that the friction continues to be there, and unity is the way out of that. If we can open our hearts and be more in unity with everything, with all that is, then we have a better stand. We are more at peace, more at balance, and then more healing can actually happen within us and in the world around us. And so that's pretty much what the unity frequency promotes in us, this sense of unity, and this spot of unity within us can be expanded in an easier way and isn't that blocked anymore. And on the heal side, and it's part of abundance also, it's part of the abundance package. That's sometimes a little bit hard to allocate, to be honest, with these frequencies, but in this case, it's really an aspect of ourselves that we have at our disposal at all times. But nowadays, most people don't really have a sense of unity, and I think it's a good way to get back into that. And then on the heal side, we added resurrection, which that can help to ease and neutralize past experiences, also from past lives, that make us react in a way that it's not natural to us in our essence. And it actually also gives our cells a reset in that regard. So it, on an energetic level, it's a cell reset, and it helps us to leave some past experiences behind that we're still working on. So I don't want to get into the trauma thing here, but it works a little bit in that area.
Okay, so let me ask a question about unity. Is the unity frequency for for like inner work where it helps you not be divided, like you don't like succumb to those energies where there's constant energy, right, to divide us and to polarize the way we all behave. It's permeated, right, in media everywhere you go. People are trying to divide you, right? So does it help you not succumb to that? Or is it more like a unity frequency like I would put on my home to get everybody that's living in the same place to get along better?
Well,
Which,
actually, yeah, great. It's a great question. I think it can be used for both,
oh,
indeed.
okay.
I think first and foremost, it works first on ourselves in the inside, totally independent from what's happening in the outside. Because anyway, if we didn't have separation and different voices in the inside, it wouldn't we wouldn't get dragged into that in the outside either, right? So there needs to be resonance. So first it starts working there, and with that it helps us to also not be dragged into that in the outside. And certainly if you want to have an energy of unity in your home,
Yeah.
then this one is a great one to test.
Yeah, and business, right? That's where I was thinking, like, what's the best way to
Yeah.
use it? A unity for business would be awesome, right? If the business is struggling with internal drama. Okay, that sounds great. Okay, so then resurrection, first thought in my mind was like, because people have been asking, how do I combine quantum upgrade and traumas? So it sounds like resurrection would be a really great frequency to be running, right, while you're using traumas, because
If you
they
want to do that,
sort of
yeah,
sound
yeah.
like
I
the
mean, that's
same thing,
actually
but
an interesting test. It
yeah,
would be an interesting test. I haven't tested it, but yeah, that would
yeah.
indeed be an interesting test. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we get on the Tramis questions is like, I got QU and I've
Yep.
got Tramis and how do they work together? And sounds like this resurrection frequency is going to help kind of all that past stuff. So great. So two new frequencies, one in the abundance bundle, one in the heal bundle, and then there's this other one in the source bundle. There's a new frequency, is a third new frequency called the pineal gland activation. So can you describe that one?
Yes. So that is a very, very interesting one, and we had been asked for that for quite some time, and developed it over several months. And it is a frequency based on etheric frequencies and molecular frequencies. I can tell you, uh, in regards to molecular, it includes borax, which is maybe interesting. So
Oh
if you
yeah.
guys don't know anything about borax, you may want to research that, and maybe don't check your mainstream sources, but check some real sources, and learn about that. And it's a fascinating substance, actually, and often known in terms of supplementation as boron, boron. But then, yeah, borax is part of that, and it activates the pineal gland. It helps accelerate the decalcification process of the pineal gland. And I just want to say right up front, it isn't the case that if you turn on this frequency, that suddenly then you can see entities and everything, and you're like, you don't have any issues with your pineal gland anymore. That's not how it works, because the pineal gland has actually suffered pretty much in everyone since a very, very, very long time because of many different reasons. And it's a process to heal the pineal gland, basically, and to really get it decalcified and opened again and activated. And this frequency significantly helps with that. that is the goal. And some people ask, okay, so what does that then do? What function does it have, right? And often we hear that the pineal gland is called the third eye, and it's sort of a gateway into our spiritual or energetic existence, right? We can, if it's activated and more free, then we can literally see energy better. We can allow pictures to come up in a different way. Our dream state will be much more, how do I say that? Much more intense, and we tend to remember more of it. And yeah, and we also can perceive ourselves better. So that's in a nutshell, my quick elevator speech about the pineal gland. And now you have this great picture here. That's cool.
Yeah, we got questions yesterday, so I just want to make sure I address the questions. One of the questions was, like where is it? Because there are obviously there's people that aren't familiar with even the idea that we have one. So I just wanted to kind of point out where is the pineal gland, and it's in the center of your brain. And there's a lot of stuff about it if you research it in terms of it getting calcified because of the chemicals in the water and environment. And once it gets calcified, it doesn't work as well, and etc. I won't get into it too much. So I just want to point out. So this is where it is. And so Philip, can you? So that was the first question. I was like, where is it? And then the other question was, okay, so it's called activation, but you just said that the frequency does both, right? Because the other question we had about it was, does the frequency also detox the pineal gland? And I believe you just said does. Is that correct?
Well, it stimulates and
Oh,
supports that detox effect, right?
okay.
So obviously there's certain other things that you want to do, right? You want to make sure you don't have a fluoride intake, or if you can't resist that, then try to at least minimize that, right? It's commonly found in regular tap water. Unfortunately, you find it in most toothpaste. So just pay attention. Maybe try a great toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride, and then certain other things. So that's what you want to do. Take care on all levels about this, but it does indeed support this process.
Okay, great.
100%. And by the way, there's
Yeah.
something that comes to mind, because, and you may want to search on Google for Frank Elaridi, Elaridi, and I think on his, and then third eye children or kids or something like that. You will find it somehow when you search. Maybe we can link at some point here to that video too. But he actually went to, I think it was India, and there's a guru there that works with kids, and it brings their pineal gland to a point where they literally can see everything and everything around them when their regular eyes are completely closed, right? You could have like five towels on top of, like, dark towels on top of their eyes, and they would still see everything. That is because they have a fully activated third eye or pineal gland.
Mhm.
And especially with kids, it's way easier and faster to do that, because they haven't gone through the whole long process of slowly killing and depleting the pineal gland. It's fascinating videos, and interviews there. So that shows you what's actually possible.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, I'll look that up, and if I can find it, I'll put it in the video description. So that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. So I just want to point out to anyone who's not familiar with it, a pineal gland is inside the center of your brain, and then from a spiritual standpoint, it's located between the forehead chakra and the brow chakra. So it's right there, and that's why it's called the third eye. The pineal gland's also referred to as the third eye from a spiritual standpoint. So this frequency sounds amazing. It sounds like a really great use for it, if I'm correct, is at nighttime for while you're sleeping. I'm definitely going to give it a try tonight. Because
No,
yeah,
I suggest that, and then also during
cool.
the day though. I
Oh,
tested it
okay.
for quite some time, and and I really enjoyed the frequency. So it was one that I really enjoyed having.
Okay, no, that's great advice. Okay, so that's the pineal gland, the new frequency, and it's part of the source bundle, and it's now included as of today. It's right there in your list, and go for it. So now let's talk about the next new frequencies, which is a new bundle. Okay, so it's not part of any other bundle. It's a new bundle, and it's called the animal frequency bundle, correct? And it's got five frequencies. Three of them, or I guess two of them, have been around for a while, which is Heal for dogs and Heal for cats. But can you talk about what all the frequencies are, and then and just kind of just a brief description of them for everyone who isn't familiar with this?
Yep, and so just so you know, if you have an all-in-one frequency bundle, you have access to this as well already. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, exactly. It's part of that, and obviously, animals are very close to my heart and all of our heart. And people asked many times, can you do something for dogs, cats, etc. So now we have this, and let's go through the different
Okay.
frequencies. So the calm for animals, that is an interesting one because frankly, the idea to have like a frequency that helps with anxiety came from you originally, right? Where you said, "Well, my dogs, they have so much anxiety and all of that." And in the whole process of looking into that, Roman found that if we provide such a frequency for animals, there is one that we need to use because it comes from the animals themselves. But a lot of the animals, especially the ones that don't live in the original nature anymore, they tend to get cut off of that. And it's the same frequency that, for example, the elephants use if they walk jointly in a herd. And it's not a frequency that puts anyone to sleep or something like that. It has nothing to do with sleep. It's more a very, very powerful, very calming, peaceful frequency. That's what it is, and and all animals use it. All animals originally had access to it, and somehow still have access to it. So, and then we tested it also on dogs, on cats, and all of that. And yeah, that's the one available. So at some point, if we have more animals available besides horses, cats, and dogs, you could also use this one for any rabbit or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's that frequency.
Okay, so I originally remember when Roman looked at the one I made. The one I made is not this one. This is a new one. But I remember Roman mentioning that it was like the Calm for Dogs that I had created was okay, not as good as this one, but it also kind of helped with pain management. Was this so? Does this one also kind of help with pain management, or is it more like calming anxiety and nervousness in our animals
Yeah,
and
that's a good question.
restlessness?
Actually, no, we did not focus on pain management at
Okay.
all, actually,
All
in
right.
regards to this. So this would be a new one, and maybe we'll have to do another contest in regards to
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, because the Calm for Dog had all these pain meds in there because that was what was prescribed to calm dogs.
Yeah.
And that's why I put it in there. But it sounds like this one's just a frequency from nature that the animals themselves harmonize, right? And so
Hmm.
it settles down restlessness, anxiousness, and so yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to trying this on my little dog. Great. Okay, that's great to hear. So heal for dog, heal for cats. It's been around for a while. Now there's a heal for horses. So the question for me is like, if it would the heal for horses also work with like livestock, people that raise
Mm,
sheep and cattle and other types of herbivores, or
it's a
is it
good question. At this point, I don't think so, but that's really something that I can't answer. I would have to go to Crew and Roman to ask that
okay?
question myself if it would help with them as well. Usually, we find that for these heal frequencies, is there's an overarching aspect of it, but then there's a lot of specifics also for each individual animal, and really dogs and cats are very, very different in that sense, and horses are again completely different.
Yeah.
So I can just only imagine that. I mean, from my perspective, goats are also very, and sheep are also very different. So I think it wouldn't. I think we would have to create a new one, but
Okay.
I'm happy to inquire.
Okay. And then just for folks that aren't familiar with H.E.A.L, could you kind of give a brief description of what H.E.A.L is?
Yeah.
If
So
that's
in a nutshell, what the heel frequency is supposed to do, whether that's a heel frequency for humans or in this case for dogs, cats, horses, it activates the inner healer, or translated in layman terms, your self-healing powers are supposed to get activated. And that's in a nutshell what it's designed to do. And as humans, we have this inborn primal healing frequency to be able to really activate that. And dogs have that too, like all animals have that as well. And this is pretty much that. It's just very specific for each animal. So if your horse has any issue, any inflammation, any pain, whatever, this is a good one to choose so that really the immune system gets activated, and the whole system moves quickly towards a healing mode.
okay. All right. So, I didn't test before we talked today about because I have my like on Quantum Upgrade, I have my dog subscribed, right? As one of the U's, right? So in Quantum Upgrade, I can now subscribe my cat or my horses, and they can have their own subscription so that I could send the frequency individually to that animal.
Yes.
Okay, so now
Hmm.
you can sign up your dogs. I mean, in addition to dogs, you can set up a cat and a horse. Or would it be possible if I had a barn, I could just set up the barn as a home and then play the whole frequency to the home
You
for my
could certainly
barn?
do that too. That is also possible. Yes,
Yeah,
that's also possible. Then you want to make sure that you don't have all kinds of different animals there, because
right.
then again, I don't know if the heal for. Then I would just stay with just the regular quantum upgrade and no specific frequency. I mean, at nights you could do the calm for animals, maybe, because that's
Oh, that's a good
good,
idea.
good,
Okay.
good for all of them. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's how I see it. And then the racehorse support is maybe a little bit interesting here,
Yeah,
because
yeah, I was going to ask you about.
probably most people don't have racehorses. But we said, okay, if we offer something for horses, then we have to also offer something for race horses, because they're so different. And Roman noticed that actually through his work, because he actually helped several race horses already in the past through his work. He was called many times to help race horses, and he found out that they're very different from just a regular horse.
Yep.
Also because they tend to get a lot of medication and just different stimuli than regular horses. And he found through his work, he created a frequency at the time to help those race horses really on a regular basis. So this race horse support frequency is one that can be run over long and extended periods of times at no problem. It just should not be run, and that's maybe one disclaimer we should put in. It should not be run during a race, because it may be too much. So it can be before the race and after the race and all of that, but not during the race. So I'll make myself a note here. And I don't expect that we have all these racehorses
That's
currently
really
in the
wild. Okay.
system.
No, that was I was really surprised to see that pop up in the literature when I put the deck together. So, hey, I got a question there. As a former horse owner, that's why I was thinking because, I'm a former barn dad, if you guys know what that means, and so I'm always hanging around. I spent decades hanging around barns full of horses, so that's why I had the idea for just set up a home frequency for your barn. But the other thing too, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm just wondering if for us, horse people, Philip, because there's the difference between, you've got an active racehorse, and then when they retire they have a thing called off the track thoroughbreds, that people like normal equestrians will go and purchase these horses and then retrain them to be jumpers, hunters, or dressage, or just, riding horses, right? So these off the
Mm-hmm.
track thoroughbreds are always really different than the regular horses in the barn because they came from the racing world. So even after they retire, would it be a would like I'm just wondering like what you would think to help that horse kind of adjust to the regular world, becoming a civilian. Would that racehorse support also, was it kind of targeted to horses that were raised to be athletes? And so and that would be beneficial for them to continue on using after they retire. So if I have an off the track thoroughbred, that would be a better, support frequency than if I had it just like a regular, dressage horse or just, like, quarter horse or something. Would you happen to know
Well,
that level of detail?
yes, you can absolutely use it, but you can also use the heel frequency, and that's maybe where I
Oh, okay.
was misunderstood by most people listening right now. Is you can still use the heel for horses frequency on the race horses. That's no problem at all. So if the
Okay.
racehorse really has a big issue, absolutely put that one on. That's no problem. It absolutely works for that. But we looked into just the regular quantum upgrade for horses, and then there needed to be an additional frequency for those race horses, and it's not an alternative to the heel. It's
Yeah.
rather for a regular support. And yeah, I agree with those horses that you just described. They could still very much benefit from the support frequency,
Yeah.
and but if they have some issue, they can use the heel frequency as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, because when they come off the track and they go into regular barns, there's quite an adjustment. So yeah, and they're definitely not like the other horses. But yeah, okay, cool. That's great to know. Hey, horse people, yeah, try these out. And obviously, if you find some great stuff happening, please let us know in the community chat group. So yeah, okay, so great. Those are some great new frequencies, a separate bundle. So like as this was is noted. Right now, each one of these individual bundles, I believe, is $10 a month, or if you get all in one, it's 25. So clearly, you get all of these combined, for 25 now, and it's just a separate bundle. So if you want to get it by itself, it's $10 a month, and then if you just get the all in one, if you have it, it's already included, right? Okay,
Correct.
cool. That
Yeah.
is so cool. So yeah, great. And then so now I just plucked out some questions. Let me just make sure, just to get you to answer. But it's like, what can people expect? So if somebody's like completely new to quantum upgrade, and they all of a sudden see these frequencies for animals, I mean, what can they expect? And I think we kind of covered that mostly, but that was one of the questions that came up. Is there like just a general answer you have to that in terms of like frequencies for animals as opposed to frequencies for humans? Is there a difference really in terms of benefits and help?
I don't think there's really a difference other than that the frequency is different and it just
Okay.
is tailored towards the animals in that sense. From my perspective, what I expect, when I turn on the heel for dogs now, for example, right? I would when would I do that? I would do that if I have the feeling that my dog is not doing quite well, or if it's very obvious, right, that the dog's not doing very well. And then I would turn it on, and then I would expect that it stimulates the healing process and that it accelerates the healing process. And whatever I would do in general anyway, I don't know, to maybe pay a little bit more attention to the dog, or I don't know, pet the dog, whatever is needed in such a situation, or give the dog water. I would still do all of those things, of course, but there will be an acceleration of the process.
Okay. All right. So that's great. Now in terms of number two, now that people can basically focus frequencies and quantum upgrade on animals, cats, dogs, and horses. So what quantum upgrade settings do you recommend? Because clearly you can go from 500 to 1400, right, on a day and night basis, and then of course there's boosters that go from 1000 to 2200, and so, is there any kind of like settings or any recommendations you make for you setting up a dog, cat, or horse on quantum upgrade, turning on a frequency, but then like what would you set the settings at, or what do you recommend for that?
This is a great question, and it shows that probably we didn't do a perfect job in covering that in the Q and A's. And I would start relatively low first. I would start if your animal has never been exposed to quantum energy, neither through our blogs nor through the quantum upgrade, then I would start at 600. And you can leave it probably 600 during the day and 600 at night. Dogs usually don't have the issue at night that they think too much. So I think that is something you can do. You could also put it on 500, and I would just feel that as much as you can. And I would start pretty much on the second day already. I would start with a booster. I think that's great to have during the day. Set a 30-minute booster that can be definitely around the 1,000 area, no problem. And then you see how the dog is doing, and then over time you can increase that, and then maybe you end up at during the day, maybe with 700 or 800 at some point, and at nights maybe at 500, 600. I don't know if you would go way higher with your dog in general. You would have to feel, just
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
good way to actually feel and sense how the dog is doing.
Okay. So yeah, I guess the good recommendation is start low, and then observe and see how it goes. And then for boosters for dogs and cats, I mean, like I know I boost like for this interview, I've got my booster at 2200, and just to just ramp up my brain. But for animals, using a booster on an animal, I mean, we're thinking like what, boosting them for their during their walk, boosting them if you take them to the park, but definitely not doing that at night, trying to get them to calm down, right? So it's really for
Yep.
boosting for animals would be more so around activities. That's what I'm thinking. You
Probably, and
agree?
what I've found, yeah. So when we fly a lot with our dog, and then during the flight, sometimes I give her a boost for the beginning of the flight,
Oh yeah,
because
okay.
she gets anxious, and now I could even combine it with a calm for animals, of course, right? So that would be great. And then if we go to the vet, usually I boost the system. I boost it for her, and I would now indeed combine it with the calm for animals, because she does not like to go to the vet. Like anytime she goes to the vet or to the groomer, it's just
Yeah,
no, can't stand it. Starts shaking and all of that. So that's the only real reasons when that happens. And yeah, that's where I boosted. That's where I will use this specific frequency also.
that's a really good point. We actually had so we had another person ask about a week or so ago in Quantum Upgrade about my dog's going in for surgery. What would be the best way to use Quantum Upgrade during the surgery?
Hmm.
I told him, yeah, leave it on. So now
Certainly, yes.
they could definitely boost during the surgery and use heal or calm or anything that would help the animal. So okay, so that's a good recommendation. And yeah, in terms of going to the vet. Even I don't like to go to the vet. It's like, walking into a casino, you just bing, 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 bing. You just know your money's going to be gone. So expensive. I hate going to the vet. Okay. So now the other question here is about if my dog and cat already wear a LeelaQ collar, right? Is adding quantum upgrade and frequencies too much? Is it, like, would that conflict at all, or would it, what's your opinion on that?
No, for my taste, that would not be too much at all. And the obviously the quantum upgrade would be way more powerful than just the collar, just because it think of it as the quantum upgrade for you that you have, or if you had just a frequency card, right? The quantum upgrade for you is so comprehensive, because it's the difference is you're in a pool or you're walking through a sprinkler somewhere, right? And that's pretty much the difference. So the quantum upgrade is definitely more powerful, but it's also not a problem to have the collar at the same time.
Okay.
That's not gonna,
Oh,
you know.
okay, great. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, then the other question that we always get about frequencies with animals, and this has been going on all this time now, it's like, can we still use human frequencies for your animals? Because like just as an example, I have an older dog and a younger dog. Younger dog's anxious, older dog's kind of like, he's getting old. So I've been using like inflammation support for my older one, and I've been using inner peace on the little one, just because these frequencies just came out today. And it hasn't seemed to affect them negatively. So I'm just wondering, can we, as like, what's your recommendation on using the human frequencies for animals?
Well, so we
Like I've been
tested
doing so
that.
long. Yeah.
Yeah. So we tested that at some point, and we figured that it's not such a good idea to use the
Oh,
human
okay.
frequencies on the
Okay.
dogs. But with the inner piece, I think you were fine using that. It's just now I would not use it anymore now that you have the calm.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And the inflammation may be different. Actually, that one I don't think we tested. I think that's probably, and you know that one probably better than I do
Yeah,
even.
that's why I
Um,
wasn't, I didn't, yeah, I wasn't hesitate to use it on them because I knew what's in it.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So then this is maybe a good recommendation. So hey, if you feel inflammation, then maybe also use this one or use the heel. But in general, I would say all the animals are so different. That's why we created also these specific frequencies because they are so different, and we could not use the heel frequency for humans on them. It just doesn't work.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, okay, so definitely if you've been using them like I have, human frequencies on your pets, now that there's animal ones, you definitely want to switch to the animal ones. That's the recommendation. Okay, well, great. Those are primarily the questions I got. I'm sure we'll probably get some more as these are being utilized, and everybody. Hey, you know what? You just got a bunch of new stuff, and it's part of your subscriptions if you already have them. Go for it, give them a try, and thanks, Philip. I just want to say thank you uh, for your time today, but also thank you for doing this. I mean, you've added stuff to Traumes, and you've added stuff to Quantum Upgrade, and the price has not changed. And I just want to say thank you from the community. Other people have noticed as well that they're getting more and more value, and I just love that about Leila, the fact that you guys are focused on adding more value and not jacking the price every time. So hey, thanks for that. And I just want to say thank you for from everybody for that. That's an awesome feature.
Thank you so much, Kay, for doing this. Thank you so much for this great information you're putting out and for always being on top of this. And thank you to the community as well. And yeah, I hope everyone loves this here. And yeah, maybe I should also say right now, watch out also for a press release that's going to come out probably this week, which you hopefully will love, everyone. Most of you have heard about it already, but it's now going to be literally in writing. We have received the report by the professor at the University of Tulsa who ran the 5 wound healing studies. And obviously, any quantum upgrade user should be excited that this is really coming out now. And yeah, it was shown that overall, with huge statistical significance, because literally tens of millions of cells were in these studies, in the control group and in the treated group, showed a 50% to 100% acceleration in wound healing of actual human cells. And yeah, that is super exciting. We're happy we'll be able to share it with the world now.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to reading that. I'll definitely make a benefits video on that one. That's exciting. That is really exciting news. And that's just quantum upgrade. Wow. We're defying physics here. That's amazing. So hey, so thank you very much, everybody. If you're new to Quantum Upgrade or you want to know more about it, quantumupgrade.io is the website address. To kind of join the Quantum Upgrade community, it's on Telegram, link below in the video description, where you can ask questions and you can hear what all the other folks that are trying it are saying about it, directly from the customers and not from the company. So it's a great place to get questions answered and learn more about. Quantum Upgrade is the website as well as the Telegram chat group. Also, too, if you want to know more about me, I'm at the Tinkers Academy, and that's my blog, and you can just get that from the link below. And also want to remind everybody too that if you're new to Quantum Upgrade, there's a 7-day free trial. So you can always just give it a try if you haven't tried it before. And it's always available. And for 7 days, you can try the quantum upgrade service. It doesn't include the frequencies, but you can definitely try the service and see how it works for you. So thank you very much. Any last words, Philip?
Well, just a big thank you. I'm really grateful for you, for the community, and yeah, really happy we get to just experience these times here together with such a strong field. I'm really happy and grateful also for everyone that's helping, um, certainly on the team, and for Roman and everyone else.
Yeah, great job. So, okay. So thank you very much. And you guys have a great day. Thanks, Philip.
Thank you.